It's a presentation about traditional Chinese medicine and food, the link that there is, energetic link through the Chinese medicine and food. So I'm starting from the yin and yang theory, and anybody have heard about yin and yang? Is something pretty common. So traditionally the yin and yang in Chinese medicine is for the ideogram, it's the bright and the dark side of the mountain. So we have, this is the sun. In the morning, this part of the mountain is yang, is actually, well, let's do like this, so it's just take this off, so don't confuse. In the morning we have the sign rise, so the part of the mountain which is illuminated by the sun is yang, and the shade is yin. And in the evening is the reverse. That's because we want to understand that there is nothing fixed. We can't say that something is yin or something is yang. Everything is yin and everything is yang. It depends on many different situations, many different analogy, or well, just 1 second. In this case, depends on the time. So, and the Tao, which is the yin and the yang together, is the unique principle. The unique principle of the Tao, we find it in the universe. But in the earth, we find the dualism between the yin and yang. So yin and yang, they co-create each other, they balance each other, and they can disperse each other. So in reality, any form of life in this planet is subjected to yin and yang. And if we split yin and yang, we die. So it's not possible to split it. Within the yin is the black one. Within the yin there is yang, and within the yang there is yin. If somebody is one of these rises, the other one decline, and vice versa. The unique principle, I can represent it through light. For example, we have the light and we have the dark. We used to think in terms of duality. We see light and darkness as two entities, two things that really exist. But in reality, darkness does not exist. It's only lack of light. If we have light, we don't have the darkness. So it's the unique principle. So the same, we can apply this principle into our human life. So there are principles in life. For example, I would say justice. We cannot have justice at 80% and 20% is not right. Where they follow the law of all or nothing. So it's also love, if we want, freedom. These are all principles that are not negotiable, and it's not possible to split. Somebody is free or is not. It cannot be free 99% and 1% is a slave. It doesn't really work. So this is to understand that the unique principle, they have an impact on our life, but it's something that is from the universe. But in this planet, we only see the reality according to a comparison between yin and yang, between two things. So if you want, I don't know if this is tall or this is small. If I do this, okay, that's tall, that's small. So I need something to compare. Otherwise, I don't understand the reality. I need the dualism in terms of understanding the reality. This is the basic principle of Chinese medicine, and it's very important to understand it because it's a circular, it's a movement like the year, the day, the year, the season, everything is circular. So, for example, I used to do this example, which I like it. It's, we used to think that we go to sleep in the night. In the night we go sleeping, and in the morning we wake up. This is pretty normal for everybody, but actually it's the opposite. It's like our cell phone. When cell phone is 0, you plug in and start 1, 2, 3 until it's fully charged, and then you unplug and it goes 99, 98 until it's the same apply for us. We go to sleep and we fall asleep and we start charging. We start waking up until we wake up. And then in the morning we are fully awake, and then slowly we start sleeping. We go into the yin phase until we sleep again. We can't get out of this system. It's impossible. You can stretch it out, but at one point you will sleep, or at one point you wake up. There's no way, no way. It's just only one thing. When you go to sleep and when you wake, it's not two different things, it's only one thing. So this has to be clear if we want to have an understanding of the reality. The yin and the yang, because this is the universe, okay? The yin and the yang is the bridge, with the planet, the bridge to the planet. If it's not clear, you can interrupt me, we can talk about, yeah? So the bridge with the planet. The yin and yang is, everything is yin and yang. So the bridge with the planet, in this case, are the organs. The organs and the food. We are what we eat. So we take the food, and the organs transform the food and they form blood. And the blood is the vehicle inside to create any type of substances or energy, anything that we need. And also blood is yin and yang. So let's start again. Is it clear? Anything not clear, you can stop me, because there's not enough space. So we have the blood. So we have the yin of the blood is the blood itself, the liquid, red liquid. It's composed by cells, and it's iron and other substances. And the yang part is the energetic part, are the sense organs. Okay, if we to make a link between the blood and the stars, I used to do this representation. We have the blood is red. And why is red the blood? Anybody can answer?
Because of hemoglobin.
Because?
The hemoglobin.
Yeah, but because there is iron, which with oxygen it oxidates and becomes red. That's why the frog or the grasshopper is green. They are green because instead of iron they are copper. They have different metal. So we actually function because we have a metal inside. So that's why we go through here the 5 elements theory, because we are composed by the element that we found in nature. So just to give you a representation, iron, where do we find iron? Iron is in the planet. There's so much iron. We do cars, we do bridges, we do everything, but iron is in our blood. So we actually like a machine, if you want. But the iron is produced in the universe when the supernova, they explode. And the nuclear fusion creates metals, iron, coppers, all the metals are created by the big heat in the universe. And this planet, long time ago, and even now in the middle, is full of magma and iron. And I do this example because from the blood we have the iron, which is physical, but energetical we have the sense organs. So if we lose the blood, we lose our sense organs. We lose the sight, we lose the touch, the smell, we lose everything. And if we lose the sense organs, we lose the consciousness. So everything is pretty deeply related. Our consciousness, our sense organs, the blood, the iron, the stars, all the movement. So, and when we're born, where do we get the substance to create our blood? We get it from food. So the quality of food is important. We are what we eat. Is that clear? We're talking about energy mainly. Everything is energy, but the energy, we don't know what is it. We only see the effect of the energy. And the energy has direction. The energy create situation, create masses. Like in the cosmos, the question is, do you think there is more masses in the cosmos or more energy? What, more energy. You? Usually people say more energy. In reality, it's the same things. The energy creates the mass, and the mass creates the energy. Okay, so the yin and the yang is the two aspects of the energy. In this planet, this is yin, and this is the centripetal force. It's the rotation of the planet. And actually, centrifugal, the rotation of the planet. Is it clear? Yes. And this is the centripetal that goes inside, actually the gravity force. So if we represent yang as energetic as the fire, this is the fire, okay, we have a fire that blows up, the flame, okay, nice fire, red. Make a nice fire, okay? The fire stays on the ground, stays at the bottom, and goes up to the top. So the fire is subject to the gravity force, and it goes up. And when it gets up to the sky, it freezes. The air becomes cold and comes back. The cold goes down and the heat goes up. And that creates the season, that creates the movement in the planet, create wind, create all the climate. So the energy of the food and the energy of the organs, because we're talking about food, we're talking about organs. Some organs is more predisposed to certain type of food. So Chinese medicine, they divide the organs into, they couple them. The organs are 12 and they are coupled. So we have lung and large intestine. Okay, lung and large intestine is the energy of lung and large intestine go down and in this direction, doesn't go up. If the lung doesn't work properly, we cough. Okay, so the energy go down, and lung, large intestine, they really don't like. They lost cold. If you take cold in the lung, it's very bad, and also the lung also don't like dryness. So cold and dry is very depleting the lung energy. So we have to eat a food that rebalances. This is the negative energy. So the food that rebalances the lungs, that is good for the lungs, is the pungent food. Pungent food, it's young. It produces heat. It's young because the pungent usually are the root. So if you look about the plant, this is a carrot. Okay, wait. We make like a carrot. Okay, this is the ground, and this is the. Okay, that's the root. So the plant has the energy go down and the energy goes up. So the energy that go down is the gravity force, is yang, is the yang force, is the heat force, and the energy that goes up is more yin compared to the root of the plant. So if we eat the roots like onion, beetroot, it's pungent and produce heat and rebalance the lung.
So yin is also can also be yin and yang can also be attributed to the genders, feminine and masculine.
Everything is yin and yang. Everything is yin and yang. Even a stone, everything is yin. Everything has two polarity energetically. Everything that you find in nature has these two polarity. So of course we say that man is yang and woman is yin. And this is in relation because man is more energetic, and woman produces the child, so it's more material. So yin is material, and yang is energetic.
Okay.
So when we're talking about the energy, we're talking about the energy now. We don't talk about the matter. We can see, as example, a carrot or a root is subjected to the gravity force, so it's yang. But the fruit, if you have a fruit, it's yin compared to the other. So I need to understand, in terms of medicine, if I want to rebalance the yin and the yang, I need to have a diagnosis. I need to understand if this person is not balanced. It's more yin, so I need to provide more yang. It's more yang, I need to provide more yin. This is as a base. Then, of course, in clinical practice, there are different manifestations of this harmony. So this is for the lung. So lung want pungent food, and the effect of the pungent food is disperse the pathogenic agent. If you sweat, if you eat pungent, you sweat. So it clears up the blood, clean the blood.
Can you give an example of type of food that is pungent?
All the roots are pungent, and usually the onion family is pungent. The maximum of pungent is the cayenne pepper, the chili powder. But this is because of yin and yang characteristic. It's the maximum of the yang transformed into yin. If you take too much cayenne pepper, you don't heat yourself. You cool yourself down. It's the maximum of yin is the salt, and if you eat too much salt, you don't cool yourself. You heat it up, and you damage the heart, because the heart really doesn't want hot. It doesn't want hot because the heart is beating all the time, so it already produces heat. And okay, I go through all the organs. Yeah, you can take notes if you want. So we have large or large intestine, and then we have stomach and spleen. Stomach and spleen, the energy, it go down. Stomach and spleen go down like lungs. Lungs disperse also, but stomach and spleen just go down because the food has to go down, and if the energy of the stomach doesn't go down, we have a reflux, be vomiting and all the problem of the stomach. And the taste that is associated to stomach and spleen is sweet. When I say sweet, I don't say sugar, because sugar is chemical. Sweet, in that case, is in food is grains. Grains because they transform into glucose. So we have to see the quality of food, not the food itself, but the transformation after the digestion. So grains are the food of the stomach and spleen. And stomach and spleen is the main organ in the production of blood, because blood comes directly from food, according to Chinese medicine. According to Western medicine, the blood is coming from the bone marrow, but that's a different theory. So we have sweet. Okay, sweet, the property of sweet is to reduce pain. Sweeties, reduce pain. So it's comforting. Sweet is comfort. It is associated with the mother, and the stomach meridian goes through the nipple. So it's the food. It's just, there's a lot of association in Chinese medicine with the meridian, with the points. We'll see maybe later something about that. And any question here? The energy, I didn't say before about lungs, yeah? I say now, the emotion that we associate to stomach and spleen is worry. Okay, worry has created stagnation. The person feels like being in a quicksand. When you worry, it's just overthinking and the energy is stuck. So eating too much sweet and having too much dampness because the dampness, I'm a little bit, the dampness is the climate energy which is averse to stomach and spleen. Like for lungs it was cold, and for stomach and spleen it's dampness. For lungs, I didn't say, the emotion related to lungs is sadness. When somebody is sad, it doesn't breathe. It just sits in a corner and it doesn't do anything, it doesn't breathe. And usually cries, the act of crying is because when somebody cries, get back the energy. When you cry, just, you breathe when you cry. And coming back to stomach and spleen, the worry and the dampness are associated, and the energy is going down. When you have dampness is something heavy, and then you feel it in the legs, like edema, cannot walk, very tired, especially in the morning, swelling, swell. People, they wake up very swell in the morning, and then during the day, the swell go down. Then we have heart and small intestine. Heart and small intestine, we're talking about heart. We've seen before, heart is always moving, so the negative climate energy is the heat. If we go to the beach and we take too much sun, we heat stroke, it's very damaging for the heart. The energy of associated, the emotion is joy, and the direction of energy is in any direction. The energy of the joy disperses, goes in any direction. So the emotion and the heat disperse the energy. So for example, if we laugh too much laughing disperse the energy, and then actually we cry. If you can do it to a child, if they laugh too much, you're tickling a lot, they laugh, and then they end up crying because they need to recover all the energy they waste. And the taste the food associated to this type of energy is bitter. So the bitter cools down. The bitter is cooling, so it's tonifying the heart and counteract the heat. And also chili is cooling, so in our climate, our planet, give us the food according to the season. So when it's hot, if we eat food in a place where it's hot in summertime, what the Pachamama gives us, we self-rebalance. We don't need anything else, because usually we are made up to stay according to the law of nature. But of course, if we live in Europe in winter, and for example in Germany where it's cold and damp, and we eat banana that is in natural term is cold and damp, but it's good for this climate, or for climate where it's very hot and dry. We have banana here, but this is very damp. But the heat when it's hot is good. So if we eat according to the place where we live, we maintain our balance. Otherwise, we tend to lose the balance. We create an imbalance in the yin and yang, and then we generate a disease in long term. So with food, we can actually heal, and we can actually get sick, because if we don't eat properly, we get sick. We end up sick. Yeah. But then we can rebalance with food. It's pretty easy, because our organs are in relation to this. To the nature, because as we've seen at the beginning, the organs and the nature are the same thing. It's the bridge to the nature. And to give you an example how Chinese medicine works, we have the anterior. It's called anterior heaven and posterior heaven. Anterior and posterior heaven. This is the way we were born. Anterior heaven is everything before we born. So in the mother's womb, when the baby is formed, and this is sixth meridian. Sixth meridian that they create our body. And this is in the anterior heaven. And in the posterior heaven is all the organs that start working when we born. So the lungs, the kidney, the liver, all the intestine, the stomach, the spleen, all these organs, they didn't work when we were in our mother's womb. But we're still alive, and our mother did everything we needed in order to create the blood. But when we born, we need this posterior heaven working. So we need our organs. If the organs doesn't produce energy or doesn't work properly, we don't transform food, we don't create energy, and we age quickly and we die. So it's very important to maintain the organs in good condition. And food is the only way to maintain organs in good condition. Food, if we're talking about food is yin because it's something substantial. But in Chinese medicine, we have also the yang part. So to maintain the organs, we've seen, and we see through the organs, there are the emotion associated to the organs. So also the emotion are important for maintaining health. In Chinese medicine, there is only two causes of disease, internal and external. Internal are the emotion, external are the climate. And the climate enters inside of us through food and generate the movement of energy. For example, if I take cold or if I eat cold food, my energy go down because the cold go down in nature. And if I take cold, too much cold, my bladder can hold on, and I'm going to the bathroom very often. But also if I take fear, if I feel fear, I have the same effect. The fear is an energy that go down and has the same effect of cold and the same effect of food that is cooling down. So we can actually counteract all this by understanding if something is a condition is yin or yang. If we take hot, for example, it goes up. Hot heat goes up. So if I eat something that warm me up, warm up too much, or I get anger, I get very frustrated and anger, it goes up. And it goes to the head, and then I have an opposite condition of the cold. And it develops something in the head. When the cold goes down, the heat goes up, the dampness doesn't go up and down, and the wind, we see later, the wind is just the characteristic of the tornado. The wind is anger, and it starts blowing, and then goes up, and then just go to the head and go to the eye, because the liver opens into the eye, and the wind and the anger affect the eye. People don't see. When somebody is very angry or upset, they don't see. They don't think. They just, and it affects the brain. You don't think. You go outburst of rage at the maximum. So, any question till now? Clarify anything? And then we have bladder and kidney. Okay, bladder and kidney. Again, they stay down. The negative energy is cold. They don't want cold. They want hot. And the association of the emotion is fear, because fear has the same direction of the energy that go down, cold go down, so affect the kidney. But the energy of the kidney in health must be stabilizing, like the ocean.
How do you tell that the bladder and kidney goes down?
The cold go down and affect the bladder and the kidney. Fear go down and affect the bladder and the kidney.
Right.
So, kidney must be hot. People have lower back pain in the back. Very often they have cold in the lower back pain. They're cold here in the kidney area, and then when they rest in the night, if they're not covered, they wake up with lower back pain, and then they start moving, and the pain goes because just warm up. It's pretty common, pretty common, because cold go down. Cold is yin, too much yin. Kidney is, they call it the source of yin and yang in Chinese medicine. Kidney is seen like the battery, so that's for the formation of blood. We eat, and our digestive system transform the food. Then the food go down, the intestine, they absorb what they need, and then it goes up through there is an organ which is called a triple heater, which has a function but has no form, and that's like a way to take the energy up to the heart and connect with the energy of the kidney and form the blood like for chemical synthesis. Yeah.
I have a question. Okay. What if you're happy?
Happiness. Okay. We're talking about negative emotion here. Okay. Happiness. There's an axiom here. Happiness is what everybody wants. Everybody wants to be happy. We're born happy. So I would say the axiom is this. So we are not ill. We are unhappy. Okay? This is the cause of all disease. But happiness, what is? What really is? To be happy, you need to fulfill your needs. And what are your needs? We changed a little bit system from Chinese medicine. The needs are the fundamental needs. You need to have a shelter, you need to feel loved, you need to feel safe, you need to variety, to enjoy, you need to feel connection and love. And this is fundamental needs, and we need to feel important. If we don't have these needs, we run out, of consciousness. We end up unhappy. And when we are not happy, what happens? When somebody is not happy, you start discharging the tension. We have tension, we have frustration. It can affect the liver, or we feel fear because we fear not able to, to survive, or we don't have a plan, we have no motivation, and then we're not happy, and this affects different organs according to the emotion that we are that we feel. And so happiness it's a key to health, really. But to be happy, we need to have a vision, and the vision, this is the vision. We need to have the vision, to know how to do it, and to have the energy to do it. But assuming that we already have everything, because we have a body that is functioning in health, we eat, we transform, we don't have any problem, so physical problem. But if we don't have the vision, we end up struggling in our life. We have no sense, no meaning of life. And the vision, what is it? I do the example. The vision is, I give you a puzzle, 10,000 pieces. Okay, it's hard to do it, but you can do it. Because together with the puzzle, I give you the picture, what you need to do with these pieces. But life, when you come into the planet, you have all the pieces, and you can do whatever you want to do, but you have to make up your own vision. If you don't make up the vision, you don't know what to do. And if you don't know what to do, if you don't decide yourself for what you want to do, you end up doing what other people tell you to do. But maybe it's not what you want. And so you end up unhappy, frustrated, and that's, it's like a circle. Yeah, this is different. But Chinese medicine and communication, it's the same principle, but in a different aspect. So, and then we have liver and gallbladder. Liver and gallbladder. Liver is a very good organ because it can, in harmony, it's an organ when the person is really happy, because the emotion that affects the liver is anger. So anger, frustration, all these things. But anger is not a real emotion. If we really think about anger, it's not the first emotion, anger. Anger is always the second. It's a consequence. It's a second emotion. It's a consequence of something else, of a frustration. We don't get what we want, we end up angry. So anger is the consequence. And liver is a very particular organ in Chinese medicine because can never be in defect, can never be deficient. It is always in excess. Like kidney can never be in excess. They are always deficient because it's the energy. You cannot have too much energy. You look at how much energy she has. She runs from morning screaming, and then she got a lot of energy. We can't do that. I can't move like she moves because she's full of energy. So she's very young. Okay, energy is young, but because energy and masses is the same thing, she's very young and very yin. In the circle, she's very active and very young during the day, and she's sleeping very hard during the night. You can take her and put her into the car, she doesn't wake up. It doesn't happen when we are old, when we age. We are not very young during the day, we are low energy, but we have low energy even when we sleep. Our sleep it's not deep, it's more shallow. Because the energy is going to run out. Everything is in terms of energy. So if we want to have a good quality of energy, we have to look after our organs. And the best things for our organs, food is very important, and also the use of the body. Of course, working out, yoga, exercising, all these things that strengthen the body, we get more energy, and then we can live longer and happy, because energy also is happiness. Because if you don't have energy to do what we want to do, it's a hard task. So liver and gallbladder, it's the anger is the association, and the anger goes up, is a kind of energy. The anger is like like a tornado, like this, okay? And the wind is the association of the climate for the liver. Somebody has a liver imbalance, if the liver, we use terminology, we use kyo and jitsu. This is in Japanese. This is empty and this is full. So we don't want to say yin and yang. In this case, is the manifestation of the imbalance within the organs can be empty or full. So if the liver is empty, the person likes the wind. Get the wind, it's like staying on the wind. If the liver is full, the person doesn't like the wind. So, but it's two different manifestations of the same thing. If I feel too much hot, I need cold. I go outside in the cold. If I feel too much cold, I need hot.
So what's windy food? What's the windy food then?
The windy food are the spicy. All the spicy. The spices are windy. And for example, black pepper is very toxic for the liver. So if somebody has a liver problem, shouldn't eat spicy at all. And I see people, they take like turmeric and all these spices regardless of their condition of the organs, and they're not good, they don't feel good. Just because somebody say, oh, turmeric is good. Okay, it's good depending on the condition. If I have a liver condition, turmeric is no good, pepper is no good. Okay, everything is relative, everything is in relation. There is not like a yin and yang. There is not something that is yin and something that is yang. Depends, it depends. So it depends for many different situations. And it changes, it can change during the day. For example, in the morning you can drink orange juice and it's healthy and you feel it okay. But if you drink orange juice before you go into bed, you go acid reflux, you don't digest it. Because in the morning is yang and the evening is yin. Orange juice is very yin, but if you take something very yin in a yang situation, okay, you balance. But if you take yin plus yin, it just creates a problem. So you need the balance, okay? It's cool? So the spices, anger, the energy goes up, and the taste is the sour taste. Everything is sour taste. It tonifies the liver, but too much sour is not good for the liver. So even here, we have to relate to our organism, like an animal. If you look at a cat, if you look at an animal, they smell the food, they listen to the sense organs, because the sense organs we see at the beginning are the creation of the organs, of the physical organs. So, for example, we're talking about liver is the eyes. A liver problem, okay? We are hungry, we don't see. If we're very hungry, we don't see. We need food, and then we see, because it takes a lot of blood for the vision. So it's related to the liver. If we're talking about kidney is the ears. It's the ears, and when people age, kidney becomes weak. They lose the hearing. Become tinnitus, lose the hearing, because it's an organ sense. Then we have lung. Lung is pretty obvious. Lung is the nose. The nose, the smell. If you have a cold, you catch a cold, the lung doesn't work, the nose doesn't work. Okay, and then stomach. Stomach and spleen is the mouth. The mouth, in terms of everything inside the mouth, the tastes, all the tastes. Then, you know, if something doesn't work in stomach and spleen, we don't taste food. And then we have the heart. Heart is the tongue. The tongue, in terms of expression, communication. If we feel fear, a shock, the energy go down. We may pee in our pants, but we can't talk. We're stuttering. We can't talk people that stutters, they have a heart problem, usually. Of course, then, for extension, if we're thinking about lung, okay, also the skin. The skin is breathing. There are three different types of respiration. We breathe with the lung. We breathe with the skin. We breathe with the blood. If you don't have red blood cell, you can do all yoga that you want. You don't breathe. You have no blood. If you have no blood, you have no iron. Usually women, when they waiting for a baby, they go down on iron because the activity of the body is a perfect machine. When the woman is pregnant, all the energy goes to the womb. And if the woman doesn't have enough energy, for example, there's not enough energy in the kidney, and the kidney produce bones and marrow, the woman usually lose a tooth, or one or two tooth, because it gives everything to the child, and then try to save energy, and so you lose a tooth. If you don't have blood, if you don't have enough blood, then when you're in pregnancy you have to take supplements. But if you take supplements for blood, and the production of blood is the spleen pancreas, if the spleen pancreas they don't work, you can take the supplement that you want. You just take blood, take the iron, and then you pee out. It just doesn't stay. So in order for our body to absorb blood, we need to have like gold, silver, manganese. It's other metal that allow us to transform, to make the thing functioning. In summertime, we have summer, we have autumn, fall, then we have winter, and then we have spring. The energy goes up, the energy goes down, the energy goes down, the energy goes up. So here, this is yang. Everything that born here is yang. So you balance the yin. And this is falling, so yang is diminished and yin is increasing. So we have less yang and more yin, according, the more time is passing. Winter is yin, and this is the opposite. So you have less yin plus yang, and create a circle. Each season prepare to the next season. So if you eat the summer food, you prepare for the fall. If you eat the fall food, you prepare for the winter. Okay? So if you eat tomatoes all year round, tomatoes, you get tomatoes in summertime very hot. Okay? Yeah. So very young in hot, but tomatoes, because the fruit balance the climate. So the summer is very young, but the product of the summer are very yin. Yeah? And the product of the winter are very young. So we can use also yin, we can say acidic, and yang is alkaline. And if we look at our system, digestive system, 70% of juices is alkaline and 30% are acidic. So we should eat more alkaline than acidic. But now people, because of the industry, the food industry, we eat more acidic because all processed food is all acidic. So eating alkaline, it's the key.
So how would it translate to, how would summer, fall, winter, and spring translate to a two-season place like?
In Costa Rica is a different climate, so we have all year round is the same, so it doesn't change much. We have the dry season and the wet season,
Yeah.
and more or less the food is the same. It's very, very stable because the climate is, the temperature is more or less the same. So it's according to the taste, according to the, you know, you don't eat all food that Costa Rica gives you. And there's a lot of variety, so you may have a time that you eat banana for 2, 3, 4 days, and then maybe you don't eat banana for 2 months. And then you eat maybe, you know, squash or, but, you know, eating, going into a vegetable food, like plant food, is the key, because we are animals, like we are hot-blooded, so we are young. We are young animals. Nocturnal animals are yin compared to us. Like a lizard is cold, so it's yin compared to us. So we young, we should eat yin. Because we like yin. Okay, so eating too much yin produces an imbalance. So yang, I say, is alkaline. If we want to maintain our properties, we should eat 70% alkaline, which is plant-based, which is seed and cereals and grains, mainly grains. If we look at our teeth, because so we understand the digestive system, because each animal has a different digestive system. So we have 20 molars, 8 incisor, and 4 canines. This is for meat, 4 canines. This is for grains, and this is for vegetable. So this is the proportion that we should eat. Of course, we don't do that, but if we go into like 60% of grains and 30% of vegetable and 10% of meat or dairy product, we are pretty much healthy. According to Chinese medicine, there are so many different theories. I would say that meat, if we look at our lifespan, so a baby is a lactant, they call it lactant, until 4 years, until 4 years old. So 10 times is 40 years. So we are nearly around 10%. We have all the canine is, all the meat we have already eaten when we were young, when we were little. The more we grow, the more we should leave meat and dairy and, you know, and animal product apart, because they are not good for us. But then, of course, depend on the constitution. Not everybody is the same. Depend on the constitution, the quality of the blood, where do you live, the climate, the job that you're doing. You know, it's depending on many things. I don't want to say that we have to be vegetarian or vegan and not carnivore, because there are some carnivore that are healthier than vegan, and some, you know, it just, you know, everything is very relative. But this is the Chinese medicine, and I use this proportion to rebalance people, because if you eat like this, grain 60%, you go into an alkaline diet, which is young and which is energetic, and you have a lot of energy. And if you go into the opposite, you have an acidic diet, which is yin, and which produces masses. So, and it cools down. Alkaline is yang, heat. So if you eat too much yin, too much acidic, you end up with a cancer. Cancer is yin. All the cancer that we have is yin. It's acidic. This is no question in Chinese medicine. And you can rebalance cancer with an alkaline diet. You cut off all the acidic and you go. Of course, this is just for food. Then we have to consider also the emotion. Because if trauma, fear, resentment, all these things, they consume energy, and then they lead into acidic. Because somebody eating in an upset situation, somebody is angry, very angry, and eat, you don't transform the food, you intoxicate yourself. It just... So everything is very relative. This is just according to Chinese medicine, but only related to food. Then, of course, the person is not just food. It's, you know, thought, emotion, behavior. We are dynamic. We're not static. So everything that we see, that we do, have to be seen in a dynamic way. And things can change, you know, very, very rapidly. Because somebody, maybe they go live in a different country, and everything, all the problems, they disappear. Maybe they, you know, things change.
What about the last two organs? You presented 10.
You're right, because the heart, the small intestine, is divided, is also pericardium and tripoliter, which is one element. It's the fire element. It's the only element that has 4 organs. Okay, so if we go bladder and kidney, is the water element. If we go lung and large intestine, is the metal element. In the past was the air, because we breathe, but metal because we breathe, because we have the blood is red because of the iron, so the element is metal. The air is metal. And if we go into spleen, pancreas, and stomach, is the earth element, transform.
And liver and gallbladder?
Liver and gallbladder is the wood element. The wood element. So the fire is the only one. So I don't consider pericardium and tripoliter because it's part of the heart. The pericardium is the muscle that protects the heart, basically. It's a muscle on top of the heart. So everything that affects the heart has to go through the pericardium. So the heart is protected because it's very important. The heart is an organ that doesn't warn you. If you know, you have two kidney, you have 2 lungs, stomachs, okay, they deal with external food, but heart, it deals with blood, and it's very internal, and it's the root of all the emotion. It's, well, there's a lot to say if you want to open up the file in terms of the functioning of the heart. Is the consciousness, it's many things, but the consciousness related to not the consciousness before we seen as, you know, our sense organs that determine our consciousness. If I faint, I don't have my sense organs, I'm still alive, but I don't feel anything, and I'm still alive. The consciousness of the heart is you can see it in the glimpse of the eye. You see the awareness of the person. There's no word to define this type of consciousness. It's I don't think it exists. There's no definition of this type of consciousness. Consciousness can be many different types of consciousness, because what is consciousness? It can be many things.
Did I understand you correctly when you said if you're emotional, you shouldn't eat? Is that?
Not if you are emotional. If you are angry, you shouldn't eat.
Angry.
Yeah, but you know, the relation with food, because we are what we eat, we are food, we are the planet. So relation with food is pretty, some people, they eat to feel an emotional situation. Okay, they have an emotional imbalance and they eat. They may eat sweet, or they may eat something that, you know, suit them. But if you eat and you are angry, you don't digest. The stomach don't digest. So it's important eating when we are in a good state. That's in the past, and even here in Costa Rica, I see many people before they eat, they just pray a little bit. They make a pause before, you know, I'm working, and then okay, and then I eat. So kind of preparing myself emotionally rather than fast food, you know, people run and then eat and then keep running. This is not the way. We can see when we eat, we chew. So if we don't chew well, we don't absorb. We don't absorb the substances. If we eat without chewing, we don't absorb. If we chew well, we absorb everything. So if we chew well, we can eat less. We eat less, so we never get fat. We swallow. People swallow now. They just eat and swallow. Everything is fast. And the food, if you buy food, you know, processed food, it's just you don't need to chew this food. It's just go down.
What about soup? I love soup.
Soup is good because the stomach wants liquid. Yeah, soup, drinking tea. Yeah, of course, it's a lifestyle. Yeah. For people that have a liver problem, maybe a drug history or depleting of liver want, because it's the wood element, so wood element, liver, and gallbladder. So of course you have chlorophyll. Chlorophyll. So big leaf, sun, chlorophyll, as to rejuvenate the liver. And if you want to do a gallbladder cleansing, is 1 day diet where you eat only apple. Apple is soothing the digestive system, and also you drink chamomile. So you eat apple and you drink chamomile, and before you go to sleep, you drink 3 lemon juice, mix it with olive oil. It comes like a cream, and then you drink it, and then you go to sleep, you bend your legs and create a liver stagnation, and that clears the gallbladder. If you have gallbladder stones, small one, because somebody can have big, so it just clean the liver. And it's only 1 day, it's pretty fast. And also to clean the liver, fasting is good, maybe 1 day or 2 days. If you're going to go into a long fast, it's something that need to be under supervision, because it's a general condition. Depend how long you want to do. You can fast up to 40 days, but you know, I don't suggest people fasting 40 days, because you need to get also used to it. If I want to fast for 40 days, I need to train my body. So the first time I fast 5 days, then 10, then 20, and 30. You don't go 40 days in one row. Can't do that. Yeah?
What's the best way to lose weight? Is it by fasting, or is it by exercising?
Okay. Assuming that everybody that has an excess of weight, they eat too much. That's okay. So you want to eat less, chew more. You chew more, automatically you eat less. And then, of course, you change the diet. If you go into the diet, as I said you before, you will lose weight. And then, of course, exercising is good. Exercising is also good. If you don't move, so we have a body to move. After fasting, you will get your weight. You have to change your lifestyle. You have to change the way you eat, and also the time. So if you want your organs to be healthy, you need that your organs, you need to give a rest to your organs. Because if you eat late at night, you don't digest food. The liver is working. And this is what happened. Okay, liver is very important because liver stores the blood. We have to see everything in terms of blood, because the blood is the substance, the main substance. So liver stores the blood. When we sleep, this is Chinese medicine, when we sleep, our consciousness goes into the blood, and the blood goes in the liver. So if we don't have enough blood, we cannot sleep, or we sleep and we dream and we wake up. because there is not enough blood to contain, to host the consciousness, and the consciousness of the heart. And then it goes into the liver. And if the liver is working because we ate pizza at 11 o'clock in the night, then the liver is working and we wake up at 4 o'clock. Okay, and we don't sleep well because the liver is working, so the blood is circulating. So you see the liver like a sea, and all the blood vessels like a river. All the rivers go to the sea. Okay, and during the day, okay, the blood is, I eat, it goes in the digestive system, I work out, goes in the muscle, I think, goes in the brain, I work with my eye, okay, the blood goes wherever it needed. But when I sleep, I need to purify the blood. And so all the body goes to rest and I sleep. So my body purifies itself and clear up the blood. So if the liver has a problem or we eat too much, the blood is circulating and we don't. And the energy is very bad. So it's good. It's good to eat. Okay, following the circadian cycle, you know, we wake up at, you know, between 6 and 8 a.m. and we go to sleep between 8 and 10, 11, okay, say 11 p.m. depending on the cases, you know. This is generally speaking. So we have to eat because the digestion takes time, depending also what I eat. If I am on a plant-based, I can digest food in 3 hours. But if I eat something else, I can digest, some food can stay in the digestive process up to 10, 15, 18 hours. And somebody has very slow digestive system, it can take like 1 day to digest a meal, or maybe even more. So in nature, we are not made up to eat 3 times a day. We eat, and then our liver transform the food into glucose and store it, and then gives back the energy for the following 2-3 days. So it would be normal eating every other day or eating 1 time a day. It would be pretty normal if you get used to it. But okay, we can have 2 meals, breakfast and lunch, that's it, and skip dinner or have very thing. Don't eat in the night. So the guru, the last meal is 12 o'clock, because then, you know, until 12 in the night. But okay, I mean, 5 o'clock, having last meal at 5 o'clock. Once in a while it's okay, but then it depends. If somebody's young at, 15, 18, 20, 25, you eat anytime. You don't feel it, you got a lot of energy. Then you pay the bill later. But you can recover. So if you want to lose weight, chew more, eat less. That's it. And change the diet. And no waiting, this doesn't really matter. And follow your instinct. Your body tells you exactly when you're full, when your stomach is full. When you are eating, while you're eating, at one point you do this side. When you do the first, you stop, leave the food there, because your stomach is okay. That tells you. And if you observe yourself, you will notice that any time that you eat, you do this, it's spontaneous, and then you carry on eating. Then you overeat. Okay, these 2 food. Which is yin and which is yang, comparing to them? According to the shape, according to the gravity force, and to the centrifugal force. Okay.
I'm looking at the coconut is...
Why?
Because I feel like it would ferment easier than...
Check the shape, only the shape. Only the shape. Because this is round. This is round, and this is more centrifugal. Centrifugal force. This is more centripetal. The energy in this case, the coconut, the energy goes in this direction. Yeah, and this one, the energy goes in this direction. Yeah. So this is yin,
Oh, that's yin.
and this is yang.
But I thought yin is the I thought yang is the more energetic.
So if this is yang, this is warming or cooling?
Warming.
This is warming, and this is cooling. But then, of course, not everything is the same, yeah, because in nature the plants are tricky. But as a general rule, a banana is very yin. It's more yin than this, because it's thinner. Yeah, but of course, then a banana is a fruit, but also a bean. The bean, when we eat the bean, is small and round. So the smallest, the youngest. So you take quinoa, quinoa is really young because it's really small. And you take a watermelon, it's really yin. So it's really acid. Of course, yang is masculine, and usually the man, okay, man usually is hotter than the women, but not in all cases. Yeah, because yin and yang is, is only one. You can be more yang, yeah, there's more yang and less yin. That's the masculine. That's the man, for example. Or you can be more yin and less yang, and that's the woman. But you can't split. Even if you split, you can't have this. You can't have this. That's why they create this symbol. This is the most dynamic symbol ever created by man. Because, yeah, we have, okay, so, yeah, we have, you can go everything, but this remains. If you take this out, or that out. So inside the yin, there is the yang. Inside the yang, there is the yin. Okay. Inside the light, there is the dark. Inside the dark, there is the light. Okay, then we can play. There's two things that they are, the two opposite, but they coexist, two opposite. So if you take about men and women, okay, look at the man. Man, this is man, okay? Man is more or less made up like this, okay? Triangular here. And the women is more or less, I would say, the woman. It's more like this. So which is yin and which is yang? We think the man is yang, yeah? Man is yang because, but this is an interpretation. The energy here is more down here. We go down. So this is more yang. This is more yang. But of course, yang produces yin. So the woman is more yang, but the behavior is yin. And everything is yin. The man is yin, and the behavior is yang. We can see this through when we age. When we age, okay, a man and a woman, the difference is okay, because the man has the menses, so the woman has the menses, and the man not. It's completely different for the blood and everything. But the man is born man and is born young. And then at the beginning of his life, he's fighting, he's going outside, everything is energetic, all this projection outside, young behavior. But then when he ages, after 50, he starts living the yin part, and usually men 50, 60, 70, they withdraw, they become cold. Many men, they need a maid, mainly. They just withdrawn. They leave the female part. For the women, it's the opposite. They are in need of protection and help when they're young, because they have kids, they need house, they need more protection. But then after the menopause, they leave the young part, the man part, and they are more independent. Women at 70 and 80, they are more independent than men usually. They can do everything. They are different type of energy. They have more energy. You see that? So knowing that, somebody know that, you can cultivate your energy. Because otherwise, just go. Does it make sense? You see that? So I can say everything, actually, a shorter word. All is yang, and also all is yin. It depends. A man is young when he's 20, and then I see the same man at 80 is yin. I see a woman at 20, very yin, the same woman at 80, very young, just running around like a tornado.
No.
Yeah. yeah.
Cool, they do.
Yeah. That's why women live longer than men. Because then there are cycles. Okay, the man has a cycle of 7 years, seven years cycles for a man. So 7, childhood, 7, 14, 21, and 28. The woman has a cycle of 8 years. 1 year more is cycle. So here we go into woman is any more questions? It's interesting, you know, there's a lot of answering in Chinese medicine.
Counterintuitive.
Yeah.
Everything is counterintuitive.
But it's very ancient. This is 10,000 years old. It's a knowledge that is there for ages, you know, before the Romans. And why we don't study? We can study, everybody can study, but they don't teach you in that way. They teach you Chinese medicine, okay, the point, okay, kidney 1, kidney 2, kidney 3, kidney 4. But this is not Chinese medicine. The point in Chinese medicine has names. It's a landscape. There are 365 points, one a day, for the year circle. It's cosmological, and each point has a name. This is the deep well, this is the spring source, and so you have a landscape, your points, so you know where the energy want to go. If you understand with all the names, you have an understanding of the territory. If you put numbers, you don't know anything, 0. Yeah, dead. And French put the number in Chinese medicine. The French people, they went there, they put in the numbers, because I heard a Japanese doctor say, you know why? The French, the West, they put number on the Chinese medicine point. Everybody's silent. Because it's easier to remember. You know? Yeah, if you put number 1, 2, 3, it's easier to remember. If you put names, it's pretty much complicated to remember 365 names in the landscape. You know, you take a map of Costa Rica, and you have all the city with the names, and if you put numbers, that's it. You change it, but then you lose the meaning because it's the energy flowing. It's pretty nice. For example, a person which is tall and a person which is small, who is yin and who is yang?
The person who's tall is yin.
Tall is yin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Small is yang.
Why?
Because it's the energy. It's in martial art, a small person is stronger than the taller one because the barycentrum is down. This is relative. It's not absolute. I don't want to say that somebody is tall is not yang, but usually the people they live in the polar, in the polar, they are small because it's very yin and produce very yang. We have to see the relation. Maybe see this. Okay, we have ginseng, and coffee. Ginseng and cafe. Okay, they are excitant. They're excitant, both of them. Yeah. People think yes, but ginseng born in Siberia, which is very cold, called So it's very yin. So this, it's a root. It's a root. The root is yang in nature. Very cold, very yin, a root, and because the plant, in order to counteract the cold, must be very warm, very hot. So ginseng is very, very young because it lives in an environment which is very yin. Coffee, South Arabia, Costa Rica, is very hot, so it's very young. So the coffee, to counteract this, must be very yin. Cold, cooling. Okay, it's cooling. It's the same effect when I go out and it's cold. My body contracts. I take cold, my body contracts. So I drink coffee and I have a contraction. It's not the coffee that is an excitant. It's the reaction of my body to that substance, which is very cooling in nature, and my body contracts. Here, it's very hot. It's very young. When I take it the first time, I actually don't feel it. I relax. But after a month, I'm tense like this. And after a month of coffee, I need more coffee to have the effect. More coffee, it gives me addiction. And coffee damages the heart. They say tonify the heart, but maybe in small quantity. It actually damages the heart. Well, the tea is a plant that's, then maybe this tea is good. It's a good plant for us. Tea is a good plant. But also the coffee is not just the coffee itself, it's the production of the coffee, the way they do it, the way that is poisoning. Liver 1 to 3, lung 3 to 5. This is the time in the morning. Then you have stomach, it's 5 to 7. Okay, then we have spleen, 7 to 9. Anyway, it's just, this is a Chinese clock. But if you wake up at 3, you wake up in the lung time. That's the gallbladder flush. Gallbladder flush, if you have digestive problem, you eat and you're bloated, or you eat and you feel asleep, or you don't long digestion, no matter what you eat. It can be the gallbladder which is stagnant with some gallbladder stone, but it also can be cold in the stomach. It's very often people have cold, like a gastric reflux. They eat and they have a heartburn. It's called. It's just heating up with moxa the valve, the stomach, the pyloric valve, and then it goes, disappear, because it's just cold open, the cold dilated, and hot contract. So we work heat and cold, yin and yang. It's pretty much yin and yang. And then, of course, according to the 5 elements, if the situation is more complicated. But for easy situations, healthy people like us, just, the ailment should be solved in 1 session, two sessions, no more than that. If it's more than that, it's because there's a condition, and then you have to change the behavior, or something have to change. Yeah.
Is there a chart that says that's good for your liver, that's good for your whatever?
Yes, we are what we eat. That's what always been said since in the past. So this is a quote that exists for many, many years. And it's obvious, because if you eat chocolate every day, only chocolate, for 1 week, I want to see how you feel at the end of the week. But if you eat rice for 1 week, I want to see how to feel, okay? So you are because the energy of the chocolate is yin. You can't eat chocolate all the time, okay? Coffee is yin. You can, if you are a young person, you have a young energy, you counterbalance. If your organs are pretty healthy, okay, they work. But then, after a time, you deplete the energy and you become yin. So if we're thinking about diabetes is a yin disharmony, because the disease doesn't exist, it's just a disharmony. And the diabetes is the depletion of the spleen pancreas. So a person with diabetes, if he changes the diet and he goes into an alkaline diet, in a diabetes over 20 years, in 1 month has disappeared completely. But if the pancreas is depleted, then he needs to stay in the range. He can't change the diet. But if we go to the Western doctor, diabetes, they give you the substance that the spleen produces. So the insulin is produced by the spleen pancreas. So if I take this, my pancreas stops working because I take it externally, so I can't give up. I can't stop taking the medicine because my pancreas doesn't work anymore. And then if I stop, I die. So they don't really help you. They make you slave. That's what they do. So we are what we eat. Yeah, and we eat the planet, and the planet, the climate produces everything, because if I change the climate, everything changes. So in winter I have some product, in summer I have other product, just because the climate changes. So I come from Italy, and in winter we have fennel and artichoke, and in summer you have tomatoes and other product. And just because of the heat, and everything changes in the soil. You have different bacteria, microorganisms, animals, you have caterpillar, or then depending on many different things. But in terms of yin and yang, we are what we eat. So and we are a product of the environment, of Pachamama. We are just like a tomato. We are like a tomato, like a lizard, like a fish, like a bird. We are just like anything else. We're nothing special, nothing special. We just, according to this, we should be in the range that is good for us and eat the food that is good for us and don't have the thing that is not good. But in our culture, we eat everything, everything. Thank you for coming. Yeah?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.